Hello people! Today I'm going to be doing a set of Christmas nails that I'm calling Santa's Little Helpers, or Santa's Helpers I mean. I'm starting off with a prepped set of medium length oval nails. And I'm going to start off with the white on the thumb. And then moving on to two of the nails are going to be green. I got a mixed bag of nail polishes on this one again. I hope y'all are doing good out there. I'm getting ready for the holidays and everything. This whole holiday season seemed to have come around awfully quick this year. And then on the other two, I'm going in with the red glitter polish. And I will cure these for 60 seconds. And I'm going to come back in and do a second coat on all of them. And on with the green. And back to the red. This is a hollow glitter. You can't really tell on the camera, but it actually is. And I will cure those again for 60 seconds. And then I'm going to move on to doing the foil. We're going to use foil gel, Makartt's foil gel. And you just need a thin layer of this. You don't want to make it too thick because it will wrinkle just like polish if it's too thick. And then you can't put your gels over it. And then I realized at that moment that I am going to be putting it on some of the other nails too. I was going to do one at a time, then I changed my mind. I will cure this for 60 seconds also. And then we're ready to go with the foils. And I have this Christmas foil I'm going to use. I got off of, I want to say Amazon. Now I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to do, where I'm going to put what. I was going to do the Santa on that one, then I changed my mind. I think I went with the reindeer instead on there. Rudolph. Now you want to make very sure that you got your lined up right where you want it, because once you touch it down there onto that tacky foil glue, there's no taking it off and moving it. If it doesn't come out right, you're going to have to get some alcohol and clean it all off, or acetone, and start over. And then I'm just going to use a silicone tool to rub over these real good. Sometimes I just use the edge of my thumbnail to do this, and then other times I will use the silicone tool. I'm trying to be careful not to touch the top half of the nail where it still has the tacky glue on there, because I don't want to ruin the tack, because I want to put something else at the top. And there he is. There's Rudolph. And at this point, I was trying to figure out what to put on there. I'm going to settle on some holly leaves, and then I'm going to cut those off separately because I didn't want to take a chance of getting any of the other designs stuck on the top of there. And I'll just stick that right down and smooth it out again like we just did with the other one. Now, actually what I should have left the film, the clear film over that reindeer before I started this part, because where I'm holding on to it, I got lucky this time, but if you do that over something that you have foiled on or transferred on before you top coat, sometimes you'll kind of smear the design. So here's another lesson of don't do it the way I'm doing it the way I'm telling you. And of course it did not want to come off. Okay, now we got it off. Now I didn't notice it at the time. Oh no, now we got it off. But see how there's a little sliver of green still left on that transfer stuff? I didn't notice at the time I was working, but a little tiny sliver is out of the center of that leaf, of the holly leaf. See, you could see it now. If I had noticed it, I would have stuck that back on top of there, lined it up, and smoothed it on. And by the time I realized it, it was too late. And then I believe I'm trying to figure out which ones that I had put the foil glue on, because I didn't have a real set plan when I went into this design. But on this red one, I'm going to just go with some of these white snowflakes. So I'm going to carefully cut those out. And then we'll just do the same thing. This stuff can be kind of a pain to work with, especially when I have gloves on, because it's kind of gets like kind of a static cling going to it. It wants to stick to me and whatever else where I don't want it. Now I think right here I'm fishing around in my drawer looking for my tweezers, because I realized these little pieces were going to be too hard for me to hold on to while I have gloves on. If I didn't have the gloves on, I could use the edge of my nails to do that, but I didn't, so. Okay, now we'll just plop that on there, smooth it down. Now I did get a good tip from somebody else that I was watching do foils recently. If you're working on real curvy nails, just like lay one side of it down, get that all smoothed down first, then go across the middle, then you lay the other side down before you take anything off. That way it helps to eliminate some of the wrinkles that you get if you're trying to work over a very curvy surface. And you can't totally see, but I'm going to cut out a couple more snowflakes to put on there in the bottom part of that. And you'll notice I have left the paper, or the film, whatever that clear film is, I've left it on there now on the top of this half. I didn't peel it off yet, which is what I should have done on the last one. And right on there we go. The whole trick I just told you about laying the foils down didn't really apply to what I was doing, since I was just using little pieces. But if you're going to do a full coverage design, definitely you want to do it like that. And we're going to pull the film off. And see, that stuff just does not want to get off of there. It's statically stuck on me. And then we're going to move on to the green one. And here I'm going to look at these for a minute, because I'm trying to figure out which one of those green ones I had the foil glue on. I'm thinking, I was pretty sure it was that one. But then I decided, I don't know. It didn't feel that tacky when I just touched it. Then attached this one. That one definitely wasn't tacky. So I'm like, okay, now we got it. And I am going to cut out that snowman. And then we're going to go with him on there. Now I did keep some of there's little tiny stars on the foil design in between the other stuff that you can't totally see real well, but I did keep some of those on there for this one. I really need to get a better set of scissors for this kind of stuff. Okay, and there he is. And he's going to go right on there. I was really happy with this foil too because everything transferred very nicely and didn't have very many issues. Now that I do the other hand, the foil bits on the other hand's worth of nails off camera. But I did have a little bit of trouble with the Santa on that one. Part of him didn't come off, so I had to line up the foil design again and fill in the bit that did not transfer. But other than that, everything else worked really nicely. I so love it when I'm working on nails and everything goes smoothly. It makes it so much more fun. And then some days you just have one of those days where nothing works right. Okay, there's the snowman. And there we are with that hand. And the other one I will do off camera. And we're going to be ready to top coat. This is the second hand of them now. I'm going to be using a matte top coat over the green ones and the white one. And on those glitter ones, I'll be going with the glossy. I have sped this up a little bit, so you don't have to sit here and watch me top coat for too long. And of course, the requisite hair has to be in there. Okay, then I will go in with the glossy in a minute when I'm done fooling around with this. Okay, I'm showing you that. That's a refill bottle, and I have dumped it into an old Beetles bottle. But I'm trying out the Vanillisa top coats because I was looking for something that I could buy in refill size bottles so I could not have to be constantly buying bottles of top coat. But it's on there and it's now been cured for 60 seconds. And we're going to move on to the crystal placement with gem glue. Now there's also a bit of stuff in this section of how I should have done things slightly different, and I'll tell you when we get to there, but I'm going to start off by making a circle of gem glue. We're going to do ornaments hanging down a chain in here, so I'm just going to make a circle here, kind of a medium-sized circle, because I'm going to be putting one of those little silver frame things, like a ring. I call them frames or rings, I guess, I don't know. But you can see there's all different ones. I'm going to use one of the ones that has kind of a textured pattern to the edge of it. See there? And we'll just pop that right on there. Line it up where I want it. Now right there I'm checking to see if it has a curve or if it's sticking up too far to the sides, and it was okay. And then I've just got some red crystals, which I'm going to try to find something in the right size to fit in there. Sorry for the shaky camera, I bumped my head on it again. I don't know why I dumped some of these crystals into here. I'm only going to use 2 out of these. I guess I could have just got them from the pot, but oh well. Okay, once I get that there, I'm just going to pop that right in the middle. And press it down a little, and once I get it lined up where I want it to be, I'm going to go ahead and cure this. Now I only cured this for 60 seconds, I believe, at this point. Well, when I get it in there, and now we're back out, and I am going to now put some more glue on. I'm going to use like a petal, well, okay, first I'm going to put the line on here where the chain is going to go. And then I am going to add another splotch of glue on there. I'm going to use a couple of petal shaped rhinestones for the other 2 ornaments. And there they are. I'm going to use a couple of those red ones. I don't know why I never use these very often. I've got a whole drawer full of these kind of things, and I rarely ever use them. I need to start using these things more. And that's going to go right there where we put that splotch on, and then I will put one on the other side. I don't know why I didn't just put both bits of glue on at the same time for these, but I didn't. And then the other one will go on. And then I'm going to move on to my trusty caviar beads. We're going to use silver for this, and I'm going to use the smallest ones to make the chain. The long part of the chains that are attached to the ornaments. And then when I do the little cross piece at the top, I will use slightly bigger ones. And I have got an old brush that I use to deal with the caviar beads and putting on the glue when I need a finer line. But we're just going to put these all on along this line. And although that was a little cluster of 4 of those that were stuck together in kind of an X or like a plus sign, so I just decided to leave them together and use them as they were. And this is where it gets real fussy, trying to get all these things to line up. Getting them lined up and straight is a trick sometimes. I think I'm getting ready to, no I'm not. I lied. I thought I was getting ready to go on to the next part, but I'm not done messing around with this yet. Okay, now I think I'm ready to put the hanging down chains on those other little ornaments. And we're going to continue on with the tiny caviar beads on these other two hanging down ones. Now once I get those straight the way I want them, now that's where I should have cured right there. But I decided not to. I decided to go ahead and do all the rest of this in one sitting without curing in between. And this is where things started to go a little bad because things kept moving around on me, and then it took me longer because I had to keep straightening stuff back out again. So this is a case of do what I'm telling you and not what you saw me do. Okay, I'm switching to a slightly bigger bead now, and I'm going to use the slightly bigger ones for the chain, like the like swoopy chain that goes across the top. And they did not want to cooperate. Now, if I had cured those like I should have, this would have taken like 2 seconds. I would have been done, but things kept moving around and I had to keep straightening stuff out. See, now I bumped that one. Now I got to straighten that out again. And that one too. Now also, I did go back at some point, which I did not show on the video, and I add one. That was an escapee. I don't know what happened to that one. I did go back and add one more tiny caviar bead at the bottom pointy end of those two little like petal shaped crystals, just to finish them off a little more. I think I decided on that when I was doing the second one, and then went back and added them to this one too. I'll see all this extra time I'm having to waste messing around with this. If I had cured those like I should have, I wouldn't be having to do all this extra stuff. See, this whole thing is just moving around constantly, and I've got to keep messing around with it. Eventually, when I'm happy with this, I will cure this for 60 seconds. Actually, I lied. I think I cure it for 90 seconds just to be doubly sure that the glue is dried good. And in we go to cure. Now we're going to do another top coat over this. I'm going to use my detailer brush and the bottle, but we're going to go back along here so I can cover any excess gluey stuff that's showing. You want to be really careful, since I'm using a matte top, especially not to get it on any of the crystals. Now normally if I were using a glossy top, I would cover all those caviar beads with the glossy top, but since I'm not, I don't want them to be matte, so I'm not going to. But covering them with the glossy, it will help to hold them on there better, and also it'll help to protect the metallic finish, because if you wear them for a while, the finish will get worn off, and then it'll just look like yucky, kind of cheap metal-y stuff. It just doesn't look nice. And I'm going to use the detailer brush to get in between all of these so I can do it without getting anything on those beads. And I have sped this up a little bit, so it did take me a while to get in there amongst all of that stuff. And I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss any spots, because I don't want any bumpiness happening or any weird stuff. And I will carry that for 60 seconds. And there's the finished set. If you liked what you saw, please give me a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. And I really appreciate your watching my videos. See you next time.